Over the last 2 to 3 years, our traditional import patterns have changed somewhat, though we have been trying to change it over the last couple of decades, not to be over-dependent on any one region. Persian Gulf, traditionally, over the last 20 years, has been between 60 to 65% of our import zone. But we have been expanding, trying to reach out to Venezuela, to west coast of Africa, Southeast Asia, other places. The whole of EU, if you look at it, balances out with just one United States and one China, which is also there. Look at the seafarers. 10 years ago, we were about 4 to 5% of the world's seafarers. Today we are touching 15%. 1 in every 3 seafarers in the Indian Ocean region is Indian. 80% of our seafarers are actually operating on foreign bottoms, and I'll come to that also, there are double reasons for that. So the safety and security of not just the shipping that I mentioned, not just the shipping lanes, but also the Indian citizens, because in this region 1 in every 3 ships is fully Indian. One third of the crew on all the ships is Indian. Fishing, I mentioned this briefly, but look at the growth that it's taking. From 30,000 crores just about less than a decade ago, it's risen to 60,000 crores is the entire product of fish. The annual growth rate, what we call the CAGR, is touching 8%. It's 7.9% is the rate at which the fishing has been growing year on year. Bulk of this is inland fishing. 70% of our fishing is actually inland. Only 30% of it is offshore out in the seas. It's sadly said that many of our fish in our EEZ die of old age. We'll have to change that. And we are also producing a staggering 8.1% of the global share of fish. This is an industry that is set to further grow, which means I've already said 33% of the fishing vessels have grown. As you get more mechanized, as you go for longer sea legs, as you look at larger areas, the growth is going to be immense. To give you an example, China has almost 15 lakh fishing vessels. Any given time, you have something like 200 of their fishing vessels operating in the Indian Ocean region. Now, that is the reach of fishing globally. As we go down a decade from today, we'll find our fishing also being something like that, moving all across the global commons. We have 12 major ports. Major ports are those that are under the center, under the Ports Act, and then you've got non-major ports, intermediate and minor. The major ports are increasing. There are already 3 more have been given approval. There are another 3 on the pipelines on which the work has been done. That means in the coming decade, the major ports would have jumped by 50% of where they were. And I'll come to the capacity growth. Today, when you see that figure 16 and 30, actually that capacity has been growing at a rate of over 10.5% per year, year on year for the last 10 years. Between 30 to 40% of our GDP is seaborne trade.